Red Wings fans, stand up. Yeah, we gonna throw them wings up, wings up, wings up. Show the league that this is our time. Let's make the city proud. We gon' win the Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup. After that we gonna party. We gon' show everybody. We show them all around the world. We show them all around the world. We show them all around the world. We gon' throw them wings up. We gon' throw them wings up.
It's been busy, but it's great to be back. You know, it's an exciting time of year for us, and you know, there's a lot of excitement at this camp, and it's great to be here.
Just on a personal level, I mean, getting married, and then you come to camp, and you've got a letter on your sweater. What's been going through your mind the last few months?
It's been kind of a whirlwind of a summer for sure. It was a great summer in the terms that I got married, got to go on a honeymoon, and then you know to find that out when I got here, obviously very humbling. And I'm honored. You know, there's so many leaders in that room. You know, but to be a part of that and a part of the tradition of the Red Wings is great.
How did they tell you?
He just pulled me aside. I had no idea what we were going to talk about, but I mean, it was a cool thing, and I'm definitely honored.
What does it mean to replace someone like Kronwall in the leadership group?
I'm not going to replace Kronwall. You know, he's going to leave a big void in our room for sure. But you know, in any way that I can help, and you know, maybe be a little more vocal now that he's gone, and fill that void in a small way. But you know, you never replace a guy like Nick Kronwall. But you know, like I said, there's so many leaders in the room. We'll make it work.
Well, you did. I mean, you kind of answered it right there. But I mean, does it change things at all? I mean, does it make you more vocal now, or?
I don't think it changes who I am. Maybe a little more comfortable speaking up when I have something to say, but it's not going to change who I am. I'm you know, going to try to lead by example, and that's what I've done my entire career.
Did any of these guys, I know that a lot of the young prospects were training with you guys a little bit in the summer, did any of them ask you anything, or did you tell them anything?
You just try to be a sounding board for them if they need it. You know, some guys have more questions than others, but just try to be there for them. Some days are tough and they don't want to be there, but you know, just try to continue to get them to work.
Is it kind of strange that it's evolved? I mean, now you're like one of the veterans, kind of. I mean, does it kind of shake your head a little bit?
Yeah, it feels weird, you know, but that's kind of the change in the league. You know, there's so many young guys, and you know, it's exciting. They're pushing for jobs, and that hasn't always been the case here. But it's cool to be a part of for sure.
What do you make of Steve taking over? Was he the one that told you, or was it Jeff?
No, Blash told me, but obviously it kind of brings a new excitement around. The fans are excited, the guys are excited. I think everyone's a little nervous, which is good, but it's a nervous, excited, and it's great.
What kind of goals you set for yourself coming into this year? Is there anything you've focused on getting better at, or in particular?
I mean, I just try to work on my game, try to work on my shot, you know, with the offensive side as much as I can, and you know, just want to help the team in any way I can.
Can you talk about the Wings bringing Mike Barwis into the fold and what that means for you guys' strength and conditioning program?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked out with Mike for probably going on 12 years now, but you know, he's at the top of his field in terms of sports science and recovery, and he's going to help us a lot. You know, some of the stuff that he's already brought in is great, and what he'll continue to do. But it's exciting to have him here for sure.
What is the stuff that he's already brought in?
Just, you know, working on a recovery, you know, just some of the workouts that he's brought, you know, mobility stuff, you know, that's going to go a long way in keeping guys healthy.
So many of you guys have already been working out with him. How much does the familiarity help that transition phase as he first starts?
Yeah, that helps. I mean, he has high expectations, but, you know, since people have been working out with him for so long, you know, most guys know that. And, you know, he sets the bar high in the summer, and that's just going to continue. But, you know, he's going to push guys, and you know, that's what we want.
Any texts or calls from some former coaches when they found out about the A, Brad or Mike?
No coaches. You know, some texts from family and friends, which have been nice, but no coaches yet.
I mean, first of all, a championship, I would say. It was great to be part of that team. I mean, we will never play again. Had great chemistry, and I mean, I played a lot of minutes. It was nice leading power play, and that's probably one of the things I took out of the tournament.
Steve said he liked how aggressive you were, even on a smaller ice sheet than what you're used to. Is that something you try to emphasize?
I mean, you always want to play hard and make the opponent tough to play against you, and I think that's what I try, and I think that worked pretty well.
Your first couple of days of camp playing against him with
regular NHL players. Anything surprise you, or has it kind of been what you expected so far?
I mean, I had the opportunity to train with a lot of guys in Detroit already, so I'm used to it. The speed is pretty high. I think we had a great intensity out there already, and I think everybody's looking forward to the game.
Jeff said it sounds like you're going to play Wednesday. How excited are you to get into some preseason games and experience that?
I mean, you train all summer to be on the ice for the first couple of games, and yeah, I'm really excited. Looking forward to put over the jersey the first time and walk into LCA. I think it's going to be great.
How about the adjustment to the smaller rink? How has that been, and what are the biggest adjustments?
I mean, first of all, I think it's a lot faster. But in the end, it's hockey. I mean, everybody can play, and doesn't matter if you come from Europe or North America. In the end, it's just hockey, and you have to play your game, and there's not like a lot of changes.
You said during the prospects tournament that you prefer to stay in North America now as opposed to going back to Germany. Is that just to get more acclimated with the rink and style of play here?
I don't know. I think it all depends where I can play the most, I think, and that's probably in Grand Rapids if I'm not making the team. And first of all, you're here to make the team, and you want to be part of the NHL team soon. And yeah, I don't know what's coming after camp. I can't tell it now.
Because you played so much during the prospect tournament, did you feel like you had an advantage coming into camp, or were you a little tired maybe?
I mean, you always want to play a lot, and I had the chance. I don't know, maybe like playing an average of 30 minutes a game, and that's awesome. And yeah, maybe you're tired after 4 games in 5 days, but that's not an excuse for coming into camp. And I'm ready to perform, and I'm just happy to be here.
We saw you after practice out there alone, just taking shots. Is your mentality get as much work in as you can?
No, we just tried a different couple things, and just want to get used to little changes with my stick, but not a big deal, I would say.
What do you like about Michigan? What do you like about Detroit? Is there anything that's here that maybe you didn't have back home that surprised you a little bit?
I would say, first of all, like, great universities. We had the chance going to a Michigan game in the big house. It was unbelievable. It was a great atmosphere, and I mean, it's nice. You can go fishing. You can go out on the water a lot of times. I heard a couple guys have a couple of boats, so I think it's going to be a fun time.
How about golfing? Have you been golfing here?
Not at all. I'm not a big golfer yet, I would say. I'd probably become a better golfer the more I stay in the States, I would say.
Now that the big team is here, have any of the veterans really given you some tidbits, some advice that you're taking to heart?
Yeah, everybody has to say something, and I'm very, very thankful and appreciate it from everybody. And sometimes just like making a turn in a different way. And there are a lot of guys telling you how to perform or how to make a better shot on the ice.
Is there one particular aspect of the game that you're working on the most? Right now?
I think I'm 18. I can improve a lot of things, and that's why I'm here. And first of all, I'm a prospect, and I want to get better. And I think I can do in every situation on the ice. I can do a little bit better job.
Have you had many conversations with Steve over the past couple weeks?
Not at all.
You've been over here for a while. As an 18-year-old making this jump, when was the last time you had family with you? Are they in town at all?
No, I'm probably next time is my dad's coming over probably end of November, and then depends where I stay. Maybe had the chance playing in the World Juniors. It's in Czech, so it's not that far from home, and maybe have a nice couple of days at Christmas at home. That's what I'm looking for.
What's the best way you guys have all stayed in touch and try to keep everybody back home informed of what you're doing?
I mean, yeah, today you can just make a call, and that's so easy, and you can FaceTime every single guy on the team, and we're still in contact every day. And they started pretty well. They won their first game yesterday, so I'm still in touch with all the guys.
So I mean, it's, if your dad has flight plans and you're thinking you may see him at Christmas, it sounds almost certain that you are staying in North America. Is that correct interpretation?
Maybe. who knows? I mean,
But your dad has flight tickets for end of November.
no, not yet. I mean,
Maybe.
we're planning, and maybe you can watch me in Mannheim. Who knows? I mean, it's all we have to see after camp, and yeah, I don't really care about that much where I'm staying next season, to be honest. Just want to become a better hockey player, a better person, and I don't really care where that is.
What a better person in what way?
I mean, you want to get more mature. I think you're around of old guys, veteran players. Like Daly is going into his 17th season. I think they guys like earned their spot, and you just want to be thankful to be around them.
Yeah, just it's first training camp. You never really know what to expect, but just being to know the guys a little bit and be able to ask questions and feel comfortable doing that has been a big plus for me.
But you got such a big taste about it playing in the NHL last year. Is it a little bit different than walking in here and being completely unaware of how this all goes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just being familiar with the systems and the way Blashill likes guys to play, I think gives me a little step of some of the guys that haven't played at that level before. But at the same time, with new general manager and a lot of new management and new faces, you have to prove yourself every day.
Is it a little tense maybe with Steve around here? A couple of guys were saying yesterday just how much they know. I think it was Dylan that said it may be more of a serious environment than even just last year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't here last year, so I can't really attest to that. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone's really focused and dialed in on making this team better and having a better season this year.
Taro, there's been a real emphasis with competing for jobs and such. Do you, with the skill set you have and what you showed in those 10 games, feel like you can make an argument maybe during a preseason for a spot in the top 6 or such?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone here is competing for a job, and everyone's serious about it. But at the same time, we're looking out for each other, and that experience at the end of the season, I'm just not looking too much into it because it was the end of the season. But just trying to show my game and show them what I can do.
What did Prospects tournament do for you?
Just gave me confidence, and I got to know a lot of the other prospects a lot better. Just feeling comfortable with them on the ice and being able to talk to them. I think it's a huge positive for me being in the room and not feeling too tense or too nervous.
Who did you play with?
I played with a couple different guys, but Delano, Zadina, Lucas Savages. Yeah, there's a bunch of different guys that sort of rolled through. But
with Zadina, I mean, do you see there if he can get open, there's a real skill set there for getting the puck in the net?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's definitely an elite talent, I think. But more than just shooting the puck, he showed in the Prospects tournament that he can make plays with the puck and can find guys and get assists too. So I think he's not just a one-dimensional player. He can do a lot more than I think people give him credit for.
Have you gotten your hands or at least seen your very first NHL rookie card?
I know my dad. He sent me a text the other day that he bought one, so yeah, I'll probably get to see it whenever he shows up here.
What do you make of that, man?
Just crazy, you never really expect that to happen when you're a kid collecting cards when you're growing up, and just sort of a surreal feeling.
What are the things you worked on most since the development camp?
Just skating and making sure my first couple strides are a lot better because everyone's a lot faster in this league, and doing a lot of shooting with Brandon Arado, one of the skills coaches. So yeah, those two things have been real positives for me this summer.
What kind of impression did Moritz Seider make on you in the Prospects? I know he played a lot.
Yeah, I know Mo pretty well now. We've been hanging out a lot, so he's an awesome guy, really good character guy, and I think you can tell he's going to be an unbelievable player in the league. So
he doesn't look like an 18-year-old on the ice. Do you think that's a fair assessment? He looks like has a much more mature game.
Yeah, for sure. He has a lot of confidence with the puck, and he's one of those D-men as a offensive-minded guy that you want to play with because he's not just going to be dumping the pucks and he's going to be making plays and looking for you. So I think that's what you want in a D-man, and it's really good to see him do things like that so young.
It looked like him playing you with FSU and football out there. Is that who you expect to be with during tomorrow's game?
I'm not really sure. They haven't really told me too much, but just trying to take every day in stride and just kind of build chemistry here and there and see what I can do out there.
If you are with FSU again, what was it like playing with him down the stretch last year, and how do you think your two games complement each other?
Yeah, and I think he's obviously an unbelievable player. Just kind of one of those guys you have to get the puck, and he can make something out of nothing. So in that way, it's easy to play with him, and I think I can find guys in open spaces and create chances for my teammates. So I think even with Phil Peel, he's the same. He's a really good player, and I've been really impressed with skating with him. So it's just been a really good first 2 days for me.
Decision to come to the Wings.
Well, first of all, I think it's an organization that's on its rise. I think they've been missing players. I think it's 3 years in a row, right? They have a lot of good young players, and with the history it has, and it's a really professional organization. So I think that was the most exciting part of it.
So what have you thought of the first few days of camp?
Well, it's hard, but it's good. I think I think a lot of guys are in shape, but it is a hard first couple of days here with the skates, and it's a lot of new stuff with the system. But I think it's been really good.
I know you've seen very little of him, but Moritz Seider, has he made any kind of impression on you? I mean, for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I think he's you can see he's got the tools for sure. You can see that he wants to make plays, and he sees the ice pretty well. So it's going to be interesting to follow his development.
Patrik, how was this a good fit for you? Why did you choose? What made it so appealing for you?
Well, just like I said, with the history and the organization with the direction they want to go. With Steve coming in, I think he's wanted to switch some things, and. I just think it's a team that really wants to do the right thing, and that's very interesting.
What kind of things does he want to switch, just to get a little bit more clarity as far as you know?
Yeah, well, no, it's more the direction where he wants the team to go. I don't know how it was here before, but just when you talk to him, what he tells you that he wants to see from everyone, and I think that's really appealing, what he tries to say.
I'm sure playing time was obviously a draw as well. When you looked at the roster and the conversation maybe they had with you, how much did that come up, knowing how many young guys are on this team and that they'll need some veteran presence out there? Yeah,
sure. I think there's going to be ice up for grabs. There's an opportunity to get that, but it's at the same time it's got to be earned as well. You can't. If you're not going to play well, then you're not going to get the ice time. That's just the way it works in the NHL. So even if they pencil you in to play a certain role, if you're not going to play well, you're not going to be there for long.
Have you and Anthony?
What do you hope to bring to the team? What kind of describe yourself as your player, your strengths?
Yeah, no. What I want to do is I want to play a good 200-foot game. I want to be a good defender, penalty kill. Play with a physical edge. That's what I want to bring to this team.
Have you and Anthony Mantha had a little conversation? Right?
Yeah. No, that's stuff that happens. I don't know what to say. I mean, that was last year, and it was just one of those things that happens on the ice sometimes.
Rate him for us as a fighter. How would you rate him?
Well, I don't know. My head was pretty hard. He broke his hand there, so I don't think he's going to jump me the next time.
That was one of those awkward things in pro sports that and suddenly your teammates a few months later.
No, I don't think it's that awkward. I mean, you're in a different team and you're trying to win. I don't. There's nothing personal to it. It's just part of the game.
Your last stop in Colorado, obviously, they're kind of doing what this team is looking to do. I mean, they've gotten up from a downswing in the playoffs. What did it take to get there with Colorado, and what do you think it'll take for Detroit?
That's a good question, because when I got in, I think they had 40-something points, really low points the year before. It was just trying to build a different mindset, and that's what I'm talking about with Steve coming in. What he's trying to, with him and Jeff, what they're trying to do is to have that mindset switched. So you're expecting to win. And that's something that you have to change in order to turn this thing around, and that's what I think is appealing. It's interesting, and it's a fun thing to be a part of.
When did you know in Colorado that switch had kind of flipped?
Well, once I got in, I wasn't part of the training camp, so I kind of missed that part of it. But once you get the feeling that you're actually winning some games and you get some confidence in the group, I think that's when you're starting to believe that things can happen. And if you have the right pieces, then you never know. The league is so tight now that you never know what can happen. I mean, you can look at St. Louis last year. They were predicted to be a top team in the league. Got off to a slow start, and then I think they were last in the league by New Year's, and then they go and win the cup. And, nobody expected that. So it's such a tight league, and if you just have a good group of guys, good character, and have that mindset that you want to win, anything can happen.
Did you know any of the guys on this team before you came?
Yeah, I played with Daly in Dallas, Bernier in Denver, seen Eriksson here and there back in Sweden. So those are probably the guys that I've been with or know.
Did you talk to them before you decided to come?
Not really. No, it was such a quick, it's back and forth during the free. It was the first time I went through free agency, and it's everything goes so quick, so you don't really have time to do that. Or I didn't, anyways.
Did you skate at all? Did Cromwell skate this summer, or are you familiar with him? Can you talk about the impact he left on the game?
Yeah, so I've been skating with him ever since I started to play over in North America. So I kind of knew him from before, and what he's done. He's been one of the best, in my mind, two-way defensemen in the game for a long time. And with his record, I don't know how many tournaments and Stanley Cups, you can just see that what he's done. It's pretty impressive. So he's got it all. And for a Swedish defenseman to watch him, and the Red Wings were just so good when I grew up. The way they played and all the Swedes that were here, it's just fun thing to be a part of.
You see somebody, just with the openings you have and the skill set he has, potentially fit in there in a top 6 mix?
Yeah, we'll see. I thought Taro came last year and made lots of plays, and in the end, I thought he earned the opportunity to come to camp in a pretty good spot. Now, whether he stays in that spot, I think there's some question marks on that line. Like in that line, is there enough shooters? Is there enough hardness at the net? Those are things we got to wait and see. But I think Taro's earned a chance to come to camp and show in greater capacity what he can do. So he's real smart. He makes real smart decisions with the puck. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest guy. So he has to be ultra smart. He's got to be efficient when he does it. I thought he did that for the most part last year.
Was that? The hockey IQ. He kind of has some of that you can't teach.
Yeah, he's got elite hockey smarts. Elite hockey smarts. I think it helps separate himself that way. He's just got to keep using those hockey smarts, and then he's got to do a real good job of managing his game.
You saw him a little bit on the prospect tournament, and then the first couple days of camp. What have you thought of Seider?
I thought Sides did a real good job in the prospects tournament of showing his skill set. Now, he didn't always manage his game great. I thought he managed his game in the last game. I thought he was really tired, but it's certainly a different Seider than what I saw in the World Championships, where he was playing real safe because of the role he was in as a young kid playing in the men's worlds. I thought he attacked the game here. He's got real good instincts, real good brain, can move. He's big. Let's see when it starts to get more real.
So what would be realistic expectations? Is that a kid that just has to kind of manage his game and then just whatever happens along the way?
At the end of the day, you got to make way more good plays than bad. That's how every player is judged, and the reason for that is because the bad plays always seem to end up in your net more. And not just him, just anybody in general. Right. So I'm just going to watch. I don't have expectations really. He's 18 years old. I know that very, very. That's a real young age for a defenseman. I really like him. I like his makeup as a person. I like his moxie. I like his brain. I like his skill set. I think he's going to be a real good player. I just don't know when.
Was he not out of place at the World Championships? Did he play pretty good brand?
He got hurt there. So he limited the number of games. Now, I was able to see him against us in exhibition. I was able to see him against us another time. I was able to see him. No, sorry, he didn't play in the second game, but I was able to see him in some games, and I thought he was impressive. You don't get the same forecheck pressure, but man, for an 18-year-old kid, I thought he did an unreal job of handling pressure when he had it, and made real good poised plays and managed his game great. So, I've been excited to see the offense that he's showing. I think a lot of people have questioned that. I think that's an unfair thing to question when he played at such the levels he played. He played with men. How do you if he was playing high school last year, I don't think anybody would have questioned it. So I think there's a skill set there. He's a real prospect for sure. We'll just see how he does here in exhibition.
What does Patrik Nemeth bring to the blue line here?
Man, he's strong as an ox, boy. He's strong, strong, strong. He wins puck battles. He wins net front battles. We haven't been good enough in front of our net. We haven't been good enough at getting pucks out on the power play. We haven't been good enough of creating stalls in the D zone. He does all those things. He just brings. He knows how to defend. He's got a good shot offensively, but he knows what he is. He's a really good defender. And we went into the free agency. My take was, let's get 200-foot players, and he's a 200-foot player, and then we needed to become a better penalty killing team, and the best way to do that is to add great penalty killers. He blocks shots for fun, so I think he's going to be a real good addition. I think he's a lot of what we didn't have, and I think he's a big man.
Is there any advantage culture-wise? He's a guy who just coming from a team that just did what you guys are kind of trying to do, going from the bottom up on the upswing.
Well, I think every player comes with different experiences, and certainly, I was picking his brain a little bit on what his training camp's been like in Dallas and in Colorado and that. And I think every time you get some outside influence, you can choose to learn from it, and I certainly try to choose, and I think our players do too. So, I think when a player's been in those spots, he knows that you're never that far away from being real good, and you're probably never that far away from being bad in this league.
How important was it for Kuffner to have the prospects tournament that he had, just to produce and show that he can contribute offensively, at least in that tournament?
Well, I thought Cuff did a real good job in the prospects tournament, and I thought he was okay when he came to play for us at the end of the year. So I think for him to come to the prospect tournament, that just gives all of us confidence in him, and it gives him self-confidence, which is probably the most important. I think I don't want to speak for him when he left, but I think having played the way that he played out here in the prospects tournament, I think he feels better about himself, and you can see it when he practices now.
Moritz said, or sounds like he would prefer to stay in North America. Isn't that a very strong argument for that? Even if he's not in Detroit, you have him 2 hours away in Grand Rapids, and keep an eye on his training, everything and the adjustment to the ice sheet.
I wanted to go to law school when I got done with college. I think I could make a strong argument for any place for him to play, to be dead honest with you. You know what I mean? So certainly there's arguments to play in North America. I think you can make arguments to play in Europe. Let's just watch him play an exhibition and see where he best fits in.
Do you think,
I would have been a good lawyer too. Way better than Coop. Way better than Coop. Go ahead.
More mature, he's more mature than an H. He seems to have a maturity about him, to his game, to his personality.
He's a very mature person for sure. There's no doubt. The minute he came into the box with his family at the draft, his parents don't speak much English, so he had to carry his parents a little bit, and he did an unreal job of it. You could just tell he's comfortable in his own skin. Those are the guys that have true self-confidence, and he carries himself with a moxie, and he's got a little leadership Pied Piper to him, where guys want to, guys of the same age want to follow him around, and so he's got lots of real good qualities. I think he's a real good prospect.
Speaking of arguments, have you seen from Filip Zadina this year an argument to possibly cement himself as a full-time player?
How about those shoes? Check those out. Let's say full-time NHL on it, or no?
First round.
Did you guys get a pic of that?
Shoes right there.
I was distracted by the shoes. As he made an argument to cement himself, listen, we got 9 exhibition games. I don't think anybody's made an argument in the 2 days of camp. So let's watch the exhibition games and see how he does. And we're going to do what's best for Filip Zadina more than anything else. Even if I wanted to keep Filip and it wasn't but necessarily best for him long term, boy, that would be a hard argument with management to be able to do that. It's got to make the most sense for our team, and it's got to make the most sense for him. And I think one thing that gets mistaken is just putting a kid on an NHL roster is a lot of times doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing for their development. So we want Filip Zadina the long term to be a really good player in this league, and we'll do what's best based on how he plays.
I know it's positive impact versus negative impact, but are there things that he could show? What would be the things he could show in preseason to show that that would be best for his development, would be the NHL?
Well, he's got to score. He's a goal scorer, and I don't know. He can't do it cheating. if you cheat for offense, you don't have any chance to win. So you got to be able to score without cheating. But to say that, and I don't want to put undue pressure on them, but over the course, you don't have to score every game, but you gotta have opportunities to score in every game, and then ultimately you got to score. Like that's what he does best. He'll have to do that while balancing being a complete player. If I were to say to him what would drive his performance, 40% of the NHL goals get scored in that little square we've been drawn on the ice. I think he can score from that other square. That's where 80% of the goals get scored, but he needs to get to the 40% in order to really score. Like that's how, I talked about that with Mantha a couple years ago with net from power play. That's where the easy goals are. So get to that area, whether it's by dragging it in yourself or most likely getting there on rebounds and stuff like that, while still being a complete player.
What do you need to see tomorrow out of that red and white scrimmage, or what do you want to see?
Just a good solid game. I mean, camp the first 2 days have been really hard and competitive, so for me to have an expectation that's going to be a super, super hard game physically, no, I wouldn't say that. Just to be smart and see how guys stand out.
How about you want to preview tonight's game?
Holy smokes. I thought Smitty tried to take me out yesterday so he could get me out of this game tonight, but it didn't work. So we'll see. I heard the Guns and Hoses have I guess we're splitting up our squad, so it'll be a fun game to be a part of.
How are you feeling personally? You get pregame jitters? Is there going to be a routine we're going to see out there when you hit the ice?
I want to make sure I get my pads on time. I mean, I don't have. There won't be any pregame jitters for sure. It'll be fun though.
Will Steve be watching that as well?
I hope so. I'd like to another shot at it.
How many times a year do you put the pads on?
Well,
Is it basically the only time of the
once,
year?
Yeah, once. So we'll see. Just got to keep there. I just want to end up not injured.